All right, we're live. We've got 3K viewers sitting here. Thing's not up yet. I'm just adjusting the cropping here, maybe. We'll take another look at it when it's actually like fully online. I didn't finish my lunch. You can see what's going on in the stream chat. People spamming shit mostly. Hey Deck, how's it going? Guy asking for a bug fix roadmap in the chat, and I was like, haha, they do need a bug fix roadmap for JWE. And then he's asking about Elite Dangerous, actually. So apparently this is a Frontier problem. I think there's like 0% chance we get the full roster. I would bet we don't know until the game comes out. But they definitely won't reveal it yet. They want to keep some stuff in the back pocket for, species profiles and stuff down the road. I should probably actually follow Frontier on Twitch, huh? Is the stream up? People are talking like it's up. No. Oh, was there offline? Did somebody say something maybe in chat? Wait, there's supposed to be audio. Why do I not even have like an audio button? It says offline. I'm confused. There we go.
Halo J, Hurricane Overlord.
Hello, everybody. Ignacio.
Welcome along,
guys.
everyone.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, wonderful to have you here as always. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. So yes, cool. Couple of bits of housekeeping before we get into the sections themselves. As always, we have got our Twitch drops that are going to be coming to the show today. All you need to do is watch for 20 minutes and you're going to be able to get your hands on these lovely ship kits.
Or That's not a dinosaur.
Paint jobs.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. We have got the Crate Mark II on screen here, as well as the Python.
Yes, this is the Shatter Blue skin. So if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/Frontier. If you're not, watch for 20 minutes and you can land one of these.
Yeah, they're absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful. I love these ones for this month. It looks great.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. yeah, so like we were saying, we've got loads to get through.
Yeah, chat's
today.
kinda
So Rich, do you wanna
chaos.
tell us a bit what we're looking at?
So, coming up this month, in case you've been living under a dinosaur-shaped rock for the last couple of weeks, you might have heard that we announced Jurassic World Evolution 3.
Yes, finally,
Yeah.
finally.
Absolutely. And Sam caught up with 2 of the development team, and you'll hear from
Hey,
them
Primal Gamer.
very, very shortly. Then we're going to swing over to Planet Coaster 2, as our favourites Rich and Adam will be back on the sofa to talk more about Update 6 that we heard about a little bit last month. Planet Zoo fans, it's DLC Day.
Yes.
Today, DLC Day if you're playing on PC.
Very exciting.
So we're going to see some more information about that. And of course, Commanders, it's a very, very
Hey,
exciting
Spinal Rex,
day
how's
because
it
you're
going?
hear a bit more about the Panther Clipper Mark II, because our very own Zach will be joining Curtis and Chris to give you a
Probably
bit
still
more information on
recording
the
for an
ship,
edit later.
as well as its release date.
Very
Yes.
exciting.
And
very,
we
very
have a
exciting.
giveaway for you a bit later on,
Yes.
so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, loads coming up, and yeah, do stay tuned for the giveaway as we'll be picking that up later on. Awesome. But yes, to start the show off with, it is incredibly exciting for us to finally be able to start talking about Jurassic World Evolution 3.
Yeah.
So at the start of June, we were able to finally announce the game to the world. We saw our announce and gameplay trailer going out, and today I managed to catch up with some of our devs to go through the features that you guys would have started to see in those trailers as well. So yeah, we're going to be picking that up now and cutting
Hey,
to
Ali.
that. Check this out after.
Yeah,
our
it looks like it
gameplay
won't be
trailer.
all JWE. Alright.
Welcome to the Dinosaur Integration Network, or DIN for short. Our organization brings groundbreaking, sustainable breeding programs to a global
Hey, Zilla.
clientele of demanding site owners. We are taking paleocuration into exciting new territory. Where previous pioneers exclusively synthesized female dinosaurs, we are also creating males. These animals aren't assets to us, but the beginning of a new evolution. And do keep an eye on the young dinosaurs. They can inherit more than just appearances. Every site must be a perfect balance of security and spectacle.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will leave once the
Protecting
JWE3
our
stuff
guests
is
crucial,
gone.
but so is inspiring the next generation. As with any project of this scale, not everything will go according to plan. As the park manager, you'll also need to assess emerging situations and get
Yeah,
them
there's
under
got to be
control.
something new. They can't just
Won't be
replay
easy,
like
but
the
that's
handful
why
of
we're
footage they
hiring
got,
the
right?
best. Din is here to make a difference.
But it could just be like
Now,
one
I'm
species
sure you have
trailer or
plenty of
something.
questions,
Like, it's
but we'll
entirely
get to the
possible. Hey, Katrina.
Caution, gate opening.
This is your first and final warning. Din must not continue.
I think babies are cute but useless from Jurassic Park in the chat there on the Frontier stream. Accurate. Accurate generically speaking. Babies, annoying. Dinosaur
Welcome,
babies
Sandy,
less
Andy.
so.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to
Hello.
Connect. Lovely to see you. To start off with, can you just introduce yourselves to some of the lovely people at home who maybe are not familiar with yourselves?
Sure. So my name is Andy Fletcher. I'm the game director on Jurassic
Get to the
World Evolution 3.
dinosaurs.
And my name's Sandy Samarco, and I'm a principal designer on Jurassic World Evolution 3.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, it's so nice to have you guys here today.
Great to be here.
Awesome. Cool. So Jurassic World Evolution 3, what an incredible project. And you guys getting to work on the third installment of this title. That's super, super exciting. It's just gone out. It's been announced. People are starting to talk about it. Like, how does it feel now that it's out there in the world?
Yeah, it's super exciting, you know, to be revealing the hard work that everyone's been doing here in the studio for so long, and yeah, finally unveil everything that we've been planning for this third installment. And you know, the feedback's been really positive. We're
So
really
good.
excited
Yes,
to
very.
see what everyone's saying about the game. It's a huge year for Jurassic in general, so yeah, it's a really exciting
Yeah,
time.
loads going on there. It's incredible. Yeah, super, super exciting. Awesome stuff. So yeah, we've got loads to talk about today. There's loads of new features coming to the game. It's looking absolutely brilliant. Those features, there's lots, like I say, for us to talk about, and they all sort of fall into a couple of different categories. We've got loads of new stuff with the dinosaurs. We've got lots of new creative stuff kind of.
Yeah, I haven't watched many of the Frontier streams, so I don't really remember people. I remember,
it'd be nice to give a bit of an overview.
what was his name,
of
Rich
what's
or
ready to
whatever, from
come. So I
much
think
of the
let's start with
JWE2
the show,
streams.
the dinosaurs. What can we kind of expect there?
That's about it.
A lot from the dinosaurs. Obviously, now the
Okay.
big headline ticket is you can breed them, which means you get juvenile dinosaurs, but that comes with a lot of support work. So male and female. So we've got dimorphism, new behaviours, upgrades to the dinosaur brain. So a lot of cool stuff coming that way.
Awesome. Yeah, there's so much coming. It's really, really cool. Lovely stuff. Then on the creative side, there's a whole host of new tools and ways to just kind of get creative in the game. Like, what can we expect there, Andy?
Yeah, there's a lot of detail to dive into on the creative side of things. It's a real kind of foundational change for the game in many ways.
Yeah.
I think the kinds of parks that people will be able to build and share this time around are going to be beyond anything
very,
we've
very cool.
seen before in the
Yes.
franchise. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about there.
Lovely stuff. Awesome. And then we've got a brand new campaign as well. There's lots there as well. So yeah, what can you tell us a little bit about that? What can we
Yeah,
expect?
bigger and better. We've got an epic new campaign that goes across the whole globe, and has a more open, less linear feel than previous campaigns. So lots to dive into there. We've got some returning characters that I think people are going to love, and this new structure I think is really going to appeal, going to make it feel more global, more cohesive, and
bigger,
more intricate. With the systems kind of working across different levels.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, there's loads there. Awesome. Cool. All right. So now we've got a sense of what we're going to be chatting about. Let's get talking about everything because it's incredibly exciting. So starting off with the creative tools, we've got some new stuff for our creative players. There's modular building. Can you tell us a bit about that? What are we expecting with that? What can we do with it?
So modular buildings is basically, as far as Frontier is concerned, we're well known for putting a lot of effort into making sure you can create all sorts of amazing structures, and so we're bringing that to Jurassic World Evolution 3. So every building, actually under the hood, we comprised of hundreds, thousands, just stacks of individual components that you can get in there and you can tweak. So you can basically, what you can create is up to you now. You're no longer restrained by set buildings.
I'm sure they've taken a lot of
you can
lessons from JWE2 campaign and improve
build
3.
what you want. Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
You can do your own spin on the buildings in the game. There's lots of different variations in there to start with, and it's the tools that you have with those pieces. You can intersect them, scale them, freely rotate and move them around, and it's beyond buildings as well. You can create combinations of scenery items and save them off as blueprints. And I think one of the big things to emphasize really is that we wanted the game to feel like a Jurassic World Evolution game. It was absolutely essential to us that this wasn't a barrier to entry. We wanted it to feel like a JWE game. So that's been really paramount in our minds. But when you scratch below the surface, you'll find an incredible array of
under the hood.
tools.
There's so much more stuff, but it's no harder to do than previous games.
Yeah, I'm really curious how this game's going to run with all this stuff.
But you can make your own stuff, or you can take existing buildings and just tweak them however you want.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my next question. So obviously, if I'm a creative player, brilliant. There's loads for me to play with there. But if I want to just get into the management, I just want to sort of take care of my dinosaurs, do I need to kind of get into the modular buildings, or what kind of things do we...
So far, there's like no new information or footage here.
The game has loads of lovely buildings to use. So if you're not that way inclined, there are stacks of blueprints. But I think we're going a little bit further. You want to talk about the blueprints is getting a significant upgrade for Jurassic World Evolution 3.
I mean, the big new frontier really is the integration of the Frontier Workshop.
Yeah.
So this is and it's cross-platform. So across all the platforms that the game is available on, players will be able to upload what they've created, both in terms of specific building types, general scenery, and also whole parks that they've built. And other players will be able to download those creations and visit those parks and use those blueprints, use those creations in their own parks. So again, there's lots for players to kind of choose from in the game at launch, across a variety of themes as well. We didn't really talk about the scenery themes. We've got classic Jurassic themes.
Yeah, there's so much there. Those are really cool.
We've got new themes inspired by the campaign. So there's thousands of pieces for people to delve into,
Yeah.
and many blueprints. But
Yeah,
but,
I'm
you know,
not
once you
super
add
into
that
modular
frontier
building
workshop
myself.
element,
It's a little
there's
too
going to be
much
more
for
and more every
me.
time you come back.
I definitely
There'll be new
preferred the
creations, and that's what's really exciting, is that this game will
accessibility of
build a
JWE2.
appropriate to the
community.
title, it will evolve.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
blueprint should make
every,
up for
you know, after launch, and
Yeah.
we can't wait to see what people
And
create.
super integration as well,
Mm.
which is
I'm starting
we're
to
all
expect we'll
excited
only
about.
get like a
It's-
species profile
you'll
at
be
the
able to
end
get
or
into the
something
game
here.
and just see the creations of other players from the game itself.
Yeah, you don't have to,
100%.
to
Yeah.
exit your park to kind of go to a separate interface. There,
Yes,
there
it's
is a
all
separate.
integrated. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go via the normal left-hand bar menu, and you'll be able to see and search for Frontier Workshop items within
And
there.
just if you don't have artistic talent like me, you have to nab them and then pass them off as your own.
Yep.
It'd be fantastic.
That's super exciting. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Awesome stuff. So beyond just the modular, the building, there's obviously a lot more coming to the creative side of things as well. We've also got a whole host of new terrain tools, which are going to expand, again, just that variety in the park. So can you tell us a bit about those as well?
Yeah, so terrain looks beautiful, but now we've kind of taken off all of the latches so that you can build it pretty much however you want. The terrain tools have had a massive upgrade. It's way more vertical. We've got these really cool brushes that do a lot of the heavy lifting artistically for you. You paint them down and they're filled with detail objects that our artists have carefully constructed. So even someone like me, it's very easy, very quickly to create something that's very pretty with just one brush swiping here.
A couple of sweeps.
Yeah,
to paint down
exactly. Yeah,
loads.
and then
yeah.
and terrain manipulation's the same. You can have really large formations basically that you can create very quickly. Like I say, verticality is much bigger. We've got ramp tools now, so point to point ramps, so that your gameplay is going to work with it as well. So it's not
Amazing.
just
Yeah.
visual.
Yeah, I think that's key, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's-
there
it's
should be pre-built
having those
buildings for
tools
everything,
and,
for all
seeing
fundamental
what they can
buildings
do
that
for
we had
parks,
like
right?
two.
So you know, you've got ramp tools, you've got smooth tools, so you can now build parks across multiple levels and have your vehicles, guests, dinosaurs traverse them.
Oh God, the vehicle AI.
And
I
even,
didn't think
even
about
beyond
that. How's the
point,
vehicle
you
AI
can now
going to
use
function?
terrain in another interesting way. So you can actually use terrain and large scenery items to enclose dinosaurs.
Yes.
So creating more naturalistic enclosures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
That's going to be
the
amazing.
tools in their own right are very powerful, but it's what's really exciting is what it means for the kind of parks that we're going to see this time around.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we just touched on the natural enclosures. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like how can we build out those spaces and how does that sort of work?
Yeah, so you'll
This
still
could
need
have
to
some
look
new
after your
info.
dinosaurs. You still need to make sure your guests can see dinosaurs, otherwise, they won't want to come to your park,
Yeah.
spend their good money. And you need to make sure that your rangers can visit the dinosaurs and,
Yes.
and scan them, make sure their welfare is looked after and they're comfortable.
Yeah.
So there will be elements of you need to ensure access to the dinosaurs through gates and things like that. But beyond that, we've loosened the restrictions on having to have fencing all the way around all the time of the dinosaurs.
That's gonna be so cool.
It's
Yeah.
not always going to, you don't have to have that feel to your parks anymore. You can make it look as if the dinosaurs are in a kind of in a valley or in a sort of a kind of a rocky area, and again it just adds to that sense of those dinosaurs feel more
Hey, Bam.
integrated with the natural world. Which
Yeah.
is kind of one of the themes of the campaign as well. It's about how in this point in the Jurassic timeline can we make it so that dinosaurs are integrated more naturally with the environment, with sites all around the globe.
Yeah,
It
amazing.
has to be
And-
better
and
than
can you also use
JWE2.
water as well?
There's
Can you
no
also
way
use
they can
water
straight
to
port the
create-
vehicle code
Yeah.
in the way it
There's
is.
a
We've
lot
got
on that.
we've got more water for everyone. We've got deep water now, which I think people may have
Yes.
seen.
A little sneak peek.
Yeah,
There,
some
if you call it that,
Spinosaurus
yeah.
enjoying that. But you can use that to enclose dinosaurs as well. Not all dinosaurs, obviously not all dinosaurs can swim.
Yeah.
And not many can swim through deep water, so you can enclose them in water. You can create waterfalls now very easily.
All the salty,
Um,
elite,
the
dangerous
tentacles.
people in their stream
Yeah,
chat is really funny to
exactly.
me.
It's
How
we've
dare
taken
they
that
make
formidable
money out of another
knowledge that
game?
we've accrued over many years of Planet games, and we've just stuffed them into this.
Yeah.
And it's come out really cool.
No, it's super exciting. And I love the fact that it really depends. It doesn't matter your skill level. You can go as deep as you want. You can go as detailed as you want. Or if you want to, you can kind of keep it very simple. Like you
Absolutely.
say, a couple of clicks with the terrain tools and you can build something really beautiful.
Yeah.
You can put in your blueprints. It's just something for everyone, which is really, really cool. Awesome. So yes, loads coming on the creative side of things. But now let's start talking a little bit about, I think, what everyone is most excited about, the juveniles. They look absolutely amazing, absolutely adorable. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it was like bringing them to life?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a
A lot of fun.
new
Yeah, they basically
Yeah,
confirmed
yeah,
you have
I'm
to have
sure.
gates. They said that
real
earlier.
new frontier for the game. So, it's quite.
So you
a
probably
privilege,
at least
actually,
need a
to be
little
bringing
natural gap for the-
juvenile
for the
versions
gate.
of these dinosaurs that everyone loves to the world for the first time. We've
That's
seen juveniles
new
in
footage,
Jurassic
maybe?
movies, and we've taken inspiration from those. But there's a
I think
huge
so.
amount of dinosaur species that we've not seen juveniles for in the Jurassic movies. So it's been a real journey of working with our partners at Universal, with noted paleontologists,
Mature timer.
including
Okay, this is
Steve
definitely
Sartey, who's a
new.
consultant on the movies as well, and concepting, iterating to
So
till we
a
get
mature
these
timer
juveniles that
definitely
as
confirms
you
it's
say, they're
not,
just
you know,
absolute one
we already
to
knew there
come
was an
and
ontogeny,
watch,
right?
and
They're just going to poop in.
it's really incredible to kind of bring
appear as
those to
adults.
players for the first time, and it's the juveniles are spectacular, but it's that family unit as well.
Yeah.
It's really
Seeing them
exciting.
Yeah,
all
definitely new
together now.
footage.
Yeah,
It's the
fully
juvenile,
realized.
the female, and now the male. as
Yeah,
well.
it's a big overhaul in terms of what the dinosaurs need to do. That
This
we've had
is
to go into
new,
their,
I
into
think.
the inner workings of them.
Yeah,
to
this is
make sure
definitely
that
new.
now they can function distinctly. We've got familial species and herd species and more solitary species. So the way that we had to do lots of changes to behave.
Ooh,
make sure
size
we have
difference
cool new juvenile
in the male
specific
female.
behaviors. Parents calling out to them following the parents.
That's pretty
play
cool.
chasing
That's
with
a way to
each
get a
other.
bigger
And then
dilo
based on
in.
these differences, the different types of dinosaurs, you can get some, like I say, they're very familial. They'll only stick with mum and dad. And other ones that are more gregarious, possibly even to their own detriment, because they might end up following dinosaurs that aren't quite as happy being followed by them. But there's a giant big structure
missed the
underneath
footprints.
juveniles to support it. It's they're great in their own right. But yeah, like Andy says, you've got males and females, and we have new social needs now. So they're not just a wonderful thing to look at. They add a new level of dynamism really to the game, a new level of challenge as to what you need to do to look after them.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, 100%. And just touching on that, it's a whole new level of engagement.
Yeah.
What kind of things can we expect there? What do we need to sort of pay attention to?
Well, for example, juveniles might have different paleo needs to adults. If you've got a brachiosaur, with a great big long neck that normally feeds on high trees and leaves and
The
trees,
male looked quite a bit bigger.
Juvenile brachiosaur, it's not quite as tall. Might not be able to reach.
Not
so you
like
need to make sure
real
you've got some
life
ground
size,
roots
but
for
like
it.
at least
And the same for
Jurassic
some of the
World hologram
carnivores, some of the
sized.
small carnivores, when the juveniles, they can't really take down live prey, so you need to make sure they've got meat feeders. And again, social needs. Some juveniles are happier when there's a bunch of them together. Other ones, they need mum and dad around, and they're going to get distressed if they're not.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of these social dynamics going on that make basically differentiate the species. So each time you've got a new species that you want to breed, there's more things to consider to look
Amazing.
after. But it's worth it because they bring you loads of cash. Juveniles are inherently
It's a park
they're
at the end
inherently
of the day.
appealing.
Yeah,
At the
yeah,
end of the
there
day,
you go.
you're running a theme
running
park.
a park,
You need to
yeah.
make some cold hard cash, and juveniles are one of the best ways to do that.
Right. Loads there. And you mentioned obviously the interactions and the depth that we're kind of going to experience there. There's a lot of work that's gone into the animations and those new interactions. And can you tell us a bit about those social
They
interactions?
have to improve the
They're gonna
territory
interact with
system.
other juveniles, right? And also the adults as we were
Well, the
saying.
AI,
Yes,
the way
they
the
do,
AI
and
interacts
they
with
are-
it, especially.
Those interactions are amazing.
They are absolutely stunning.
And some of them are quite cool and dynamic, like say juvenile dinosaurs play chasing with each other. There's some real sweet touches depending on the species. And then other ones, if they're interacting with adults of the species or with their parents, if they're familial, there's just a wide breadth that I don't know, it gets across. They all feel different. It gets across the differences between them.
They really do. Yeah.
I mean, a whole new dinosaur. I mean, the adult dinosaurs in Jurassic World Evolution are kind of incredible in their own right. The amount of care and attention that goes into the animations, the modelling, everything that has all been applied.
This guy
to
being
the
confidently
juveniles and also
wrong in the
males
chat
as
that
well.
dinosaurs don't take care of their babies.
It's really wonderful. It's a whole new.
Some of them
layer,
definitely don't.
A whole new layers
but
even.
plenty of them do.
Dinosaurs that we're adding this time around, and they've just had just as much care as attention as all the other dinosaurs that we've done in the past. So it really shines through in the game, I think.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned breeding. Like you,
No.
Yeah,
So a whole new gameplay loops there.
Exactly, there's new gameplay loops.
Yeah.
You'll be able to breed, hopefully breed all good traits into your dinosaurs. breed cosmetic colours. So you get
Right,
kids
yeah,
that
yeah.
inherit the colours from their and patterns from their parents. So there's loads to do.
And
There's
you
so
have to
much
make sure
there.
you can breed them, right? So
Yes.
you have to work with the fertility, grass
Yes.
of certain dinosaurs. So high prestige, high appeal dinosaurs
They can be a bit
might be a
finicky.
little harder
Yeah,
to
yeah.
breed. You can set up breeding programs to make that more likely, or to pick the particular dinosaurs that you want to pass down their traits and their colours to the next
Yeah.
generation. So
A lot
there's
of control.
a lot of intricacies within the system.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you guys have obviously touched on it a bit now. There's breeding that's coming to the game. That's a big part of it, natural breeding. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? We've touched on a lot of things there, but can we talk a little bit more about, because we're synthesizing males now,
Yes.
what the loops look like? I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
there's nests and a whole host of
Oh,
new
yeah.
things coming there as well.
Yeah,
Might be some new stuff here.
You start off, obviously, all dinosaurs in Jurassic World are female, but now with research, you'll be able to unlock the male genome,
Yeah.
start synthesizing males and females, looking after them, making sure they're happy. And when your dinosaurs are thriving, you'll be able to put down these new structures. So we've got nests. Obviously, dinosaurs, they like to lay their eggs in safe places, so you can construct these kind of locations that they're drawn to. But even the nests, different dinosaur species have different needs for nests. Like some dinosaurs don't want their nests visible to guests, for example. You've got to hide them away. And other ones, they like it if there are lots of nests together. Things like that. All dinosaurs are all different. And then once the conditions are right, as it were, the lights turn down, the music's playing. If the nest's in the right place and your dinosaurs are happy, then they can breed now, and you'll get eggs. And then after the juveniles have spent the time in the nest, they'll emerge. And so it's a whole new cycle. Some of the dinosaurs, with a bit of care and attention, you can actually turn them into little kind of breeding engines, so that you can get enough of a species in there that they can restock themselves over time. So again, another great way to
we can make a
money,
puppy mill.
without having to
I can
synthesize.
see you're a management player over here.
Well,
100%.
it's a park, and as Andy has alluded to, it's Jurassic, right? It wouldn't be a Jurassic game without the intervention of humans. So if you want specific traits to come through, or specific colours for offspring, for progeny of dinosaurs, you can run breeding programs. You assign scientists, so it's very easy to do. It's very accessible. And then that increases the chance of particular dinosaurs breeding. So
Gotcha.
you can.
So you still have a hand in this.
Oh yeah, you
you've
can
got
put your
those
finger on the
options.
scales. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
I think what's cool is also you can breed, down generations, so you can try and kind of get as far down a specific sort of generation of dinosaurs as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. You can try and build like the perfect dinosaur with the colours that you want and all the good traits that you want, and then that's great stock then for carrying on that line.
Awesome. So like we're saying, we've got the males, we've got females, we've got the juveniles now. It's a whole family, and of course that means that there's loads to take care of. I'm imagining there's a lot more now to manage and to take care of. And I know we've sort of we've incorporated a whole host of new features there as well to make that a bit easier.
Yeah, I've never played
ATVs,
Planet Zeus. I don't know if there's any
security
nests.
cameras, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, so
never,
that's good about that.
as you build out your parks, we want to give
Never looked
players
into
new
that.
tools to manage, control the chaos that tends to happen when you breed dinosaurs.
Doesn't always work out as you plan.
It doesn't
so,
always work out perfectly. So, we have some new tools in the mix now. As you mentioned, we've got security cameras. So, this allows you to kind of, set up, security cameras at
See you
key
later,
points
Lee.
around your park, key strategic points where they might be able to spot evidence of a dinosaur breaking out and being a threat to guests.
Yep.
And if you link those to your response centers, to your response
Capture
teams,
teams, helicopters,
then you can actually have those capture teams come and automatically tranquilize the dinosaur that's escaped. So this is a really smart thing to do if you've got dangerous dinosaurs and you've got a lot of guests.
You don't want dinosaurs; they don't mix. You lose lots of money.
And then in addition to that, we have a new maintenance team, which this is our maintenance team. They drive around these cool little ATVs, which is super fun to drive.
That's super fun.
Particularly in combination with the terrain tools
Ramp
we talked about earlier.
Yes,
We waste a lot of time playing with those.
Racetracks, maybe? I don't know.
So these guys now are in charge of repairing and resupplying. So in that example I just gave, if the dinosaur is broken out and you put down a supply post that has the broken fence in range of an ATV team, they'll come and just repair the fence. So as you can see, you've got more abilities to kind of plan ahead of time and have your response teams kind of respond on their own volition. And it means that you can, particularly in bigger parks, you can be building out and doing something else.
Yeah, it just
And
takes
I wonder if you can
you
fully
don't have to
automate your
drive
security
everywhere.
systems.
You don't have to kind of do everything manually if you don't want
If you
to.
set it up well, obviously.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what they're
If you've got
saying
them
right
in
now.
stupid places, then Yeah.
Hey,
So
well,
rewards planning, rewards a bit of
Yes.
strategy. And,
So we might be able to do a
some really
park
powerful
build where we
tools
never
for
take
particularly
manual
bigger
control of
parks.
the vehicle.
Awesome. Yeah, that's going to be incredibly exciting. Lovely stuff.
Maybe.
So yeah, there's a lot of new features there. But moving over to the campaign now. The campaign, there's a lot for us to do there. It's we're going to be sort of traveling the globe, basically, like literally there. Can you tell us a bit about what we can expect with the campaign?
Yeah, for sure. So our narrative is set just after the events of Dominion, and that's a point in the Jurassic timeline where, dinosaurs are out across the globe.
They're out.
And that's a really fascinating place to be from a game perspective, because it means, well, we can go venture across the globe and see some new locations and dinosaurs in locations we've maybe not seen before. So in our campaign, you'll be working for the Dinosaur Integration Network, which is an organization set up by Cabot Finch, my favorite returning Cabot Finch.
Nice to see him back.
Yeah, and this is all about creating sites that to help dinosaurs integrate more.
Hey, Benjamin.
Kind of, ethically, I guess, into the modern world. And so you will start out in North America. You're starting some sites there, but as the campaign opens up, you'll unlock new sites across East Asia and in Europe as well. And as you open each one up, you'll be able to kind of go freely back to previous parks.
Yes.
Use dinosaurs and research technologies that you've unlocked to go back and improve those parks, unlock new areas in those parks. And so there's just a
that's new
broader kind of
info.
scope to it, and everything's kind of interlinked.
Yeah, very
and
nice.
you can just jump around a lot more if you want
Yeah,
to.
you can play at your pace, at your speed, at your focus, basically.
And we tried to make sure that each level doesn't just have is visually distinct in terms of the location, the lighting, but also it has its own particular goals. So you'll be working for clients, and each park has its own measure of success in terms of what counts for a 5-star park rating. So some clients might be more interested in the juveniles, and some might be more about marine reptiles. Some might not want any synthesis at all, and so there's lots of different kind of some might be about tours and guest satisfaction. So they try to kind of push the variety of each level so that it really feels like a different challenge that you're going to.
Awesome. Yeah, so there's loads of depth there as well. And obviously we're going to be visiting some new locations. We saw one of those in the gameplay trailer. So can you tell us a little bit about those as well?
Yeah, so we saw Japan very prominently in the gameplay trailer, which got a lot of people excited and brings in lots of cool new terrain, foliage visuals and scenery options as well. That's another thing that the campaigns allow us to do, is to kind of inspire the scenery artists to create new building sets as well.
And they are beautiful. They are absolutely
it's awesome.
They've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah. And we saw a glimpse of Malta, I believe, which is one of our European locations. You've got kind of Mediterranean architecture in there. We'll also see some more Alpine-inspired architecture elsewhere. So I think we're going to reveal more locations as we near launch in October.
Yes, lots to talk about
each one
lots to talk about.
Got its own flavour and its own feel and its own aesthetics.
Yeah, amazing. So we've been touching on just how good these levels look, and there's a good reason for part of that as well. In addition to all the lovely stuff that you can build and put together, there's a lot that's been changing under the hood as well. Some amazing changes there. So can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
I'm no expert, but I know that whatever they've done, the water is looking way better. We've got better skyboxes and skies in general. There have been improvements with global illumination, ray tracing, which I don't know what it means, but you get amazing results. It looks amazing. Hot air balloons, you can see the flames kind of coming through the canvas, which is just, it's so cool. It's very, very realistic.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, touching on the hot air balloons, actually, I mean, we haven't even kind of explored this. There's a whole host of new attractions coming as well, different ways for you to interact with the dinosaurs. I mean, can we touch on that a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the dinosaurs from new perspectives. So hot air balloon is one very prominent one. Again, a lot more verticality that it adds into the level. So it's really exciting to bring that and go over your enclosures. You'll also be able to get much closer to dinosaurs with the dinosaur encounter.
Yes, we saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, we saw a very small glimpse of it, actually petting dinosaurs. So that's really, really exciting. That's been something we wanted to do for a long time. And a lot of these things, they obviously add the dynamism to the levels, but also those creative tools that we've got allow you to kind of also dress them in your own way as well, and bed them into your park. So great new attractions and great new.
I'm worried they aren't bringing up the boats.
I mean, paths. We didn't even mention paths as well, like the paths that go to these attractions as well. we've got new path styles, we've got natural paths now, so you can again
Ooh.
make your kind of park facilities kind of look more embedded with
Even
the
more
natural
it's
world.
embedded
integrated,
in,
more organic.
more
yeah.
plausible. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really beautiful. Yeah, super, super cool. Lovely stuff. Well, we've got more to say on attractions in the coming months. We can't say anything just yet, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it very, very soon. But yes, thank you so much, you guys. It's been lovely having you. Finally getting to be able to talk about Jurassic World Evolution 3 has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch.
Thank
Do
you,
a
it's been
species
pleasure.
profile.
Great stuff. So a couple of you guys have been also asking about physical editions, and we're really excited to say that we will be bringing a physical edition to consoles. If you pop over to our website now, you'll be able to pre-order that. Speaking of pre-orders, for our digital release that's coming out on the 21st of October, if you pre-order that now, you will be able to get a hold of the Badlands set, which will be bringing iconic scenery pieces from the original Jurassic Park film to your park. So get in
I think
there
that first
and pre-order
screenshot
that
was
now.
new.
So the sets are really, really cool. Hello again, everybody. Awesome. So yeah, loads of stuff coming up for Jurassic World Evolution 3.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Now, we're going to be turning our attention to Planet Coaster 2. So,
No.
welcome back, you guys.
Hi.
No.
Richard Ads.
We're back.
They didn't
Welcome
even give
back.
us a
Back
species
again.
profile,
Awesome.
dude.
So you guys are here to talk again about Update 6,
That's right.
which is going to be releasing very soon.
That's right. It's coming out on Monday. the 30th of
Disappointing.
June, so only
That's
a few
right.
days' time.
Coming out
Yeah,
Monday.
really
That was
exciting.
surprisingly little new
Awesome.
information and
Yeah,
new
so we got
footage.
you guys back to chat about some of the features on Update 6. They weren't quite ready for us to show them just yet.
Yeah.
You're going to be taking us through what we're going to be having a look at
Man.
there.
Yeah, and unlocked.
All right,
last
well,
month, which seems like it.
seems like that's it then. So I'm gonna probably sign off here and try to get a video edited together with that new footage. And then we can get that uploaded. Yeah, I don't think it's ungrateful either. I think it's a missed opportunity not to do more to hype up the game. Like, no new species confirmed. Like, we learned... What new stuff did we actually learn? We learned a little bit more detail on, like, juvenile needs. A little more detail on enclosure building. A little more detail on, like, the campaign. I don't actually think anything that they told us about attractions was new information. We know natural paths are new, like, and a little bit more detail on security. It literally is like 2 minutes of information, and then just some new gameplay footage that doesn't like reveal anything new, which is disappointing. I was expecting us to start getting species profiles like right away. And the fact that they didn't have a species profile to like kind of launch profiles here makes me wonder if we're even going to see species profiles anytime soon. I'm very confident they will do profiles as an advertisement thing, but oh yeah, we got ray tracing. Hooray, I guess. Sure. But yeah, maybe we won't be getting profiles until like a couple months before launch or something. Late August, who knows? Like, I don't know why they're not immediately putting out species profiles. Because it's not like there's a shortage on new animals, because we have all the males. Like, they can just pick any one of the, 85 animals and do a video that showcases the male and the juvenile, and they have, boom, fucking advertising. Ah, well. I'm sure there'll be more stuff soon, but just not here. All right, well, I'm going to go finish my lunch and get started on a video, so I'll catch everybody later. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, not even like a new baby. Just shots of existing babies. The male Dilo is the only new model we saw. And we saw the male Dilo for like 2 seconds. Yeah, we knew almost everything here. Like, anything new that came out was not major. It was, like, minor details on, like, clarifying how things work, for the most part. I mean, there's, like, some new stuff with the breeding that technically we only knew about from leaks, but the leaks at this point are so prominent that that information is, like, known. It's not new. Yeah. All right, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for coming by the stream. Glad to see everybody.